welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man that is recording this episode from inside of a Turkish prison. It's Clayton Thompson.
Thank you so much for having me, Mark.
You know, I really appreciate your dedication. We scheduled this episode a couple months ago, but you did say, hey, listen, I'm hunting for the Philosopher's Stone. I gotta find this thing, and it might take me to Turkey. I don't know what's gonna happen there, but I'll take a microphone with me in case I'm in prison. And everything you said has come true. I mean, I'm sad you got arrested, but I'm really happy that you could join me for this As Above, So Below episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And, they were kind enough to give me this microphone, so I'm pretty okay with where I'm at because I love talking movies.
It's kind of cool. Didn't you have like a whole movie night with everyone in there and you watch it's pretty great experience. You won over everybody in this Turkish prison.
I've learned a lot. I've touched a lot of lives here, and I am ready to come home.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming on and joining me here. And I guess if Clayton, this is your first time on the show, but Clayton and I know each other. We worked in the Atlanta film industry. You still work in the Atlanta film industry. We kind of crossed paths on multiple sets. We stood around drinking coffee on multiple film sets while we stood around and waited for something to do. And also, I always remember we were working on Hunger Games 3, and I was dressed up as a stormtrooper, but I also had to do a job as like a production assistant. And then I went upstairs, and then you and I we had some downtime, and you and I were just chatting about writing. And you were thinking about writing scripts. I was talking about writing more. And here we are. Like, you got a movie under your belt. So I'm writing for Rotten Tomatoes, another website. So it's pretty cool. I look back to that, and we both were like, man, we got to create. We got to do something. And we did. So I think I sound like I'm patting myself on the back. But if you work in the film industry, you know how busy it is. So the fact that you can have any hobby or life, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, and those moments of downtime are so great because the time all of a sudden passes. You realize you're talking about things that you're excited about, and yeah, that was a really fun conversation. It was a slow day what we were doing, but it was a lot of fun. Whenever you get those moments.
That was a weird day for me. That outfit was not comfortable, man.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Yeah, and I had to wear a big cloak around it to keep it. It was an interesting day, but that's what you get when you work in the industry. So,
Yep.
Now, I just have a quick question. Since we're covering As Above, So Below, a movie that I love. It only has a 28% score on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.2 on IMDb. I think it's much better than that, directed by John Eric Dowdle. I want to ask you a question. How would your character Clayton from the Nothing do in this scenario?
Oh, wow. You know what? That's a loaded question.
Would Clayton make it past the bones?
Clayton could make it to the bones. Is that when? No, you know what? Clayton would make it to singing cult ladies that are naked and in the caverns. Yeah, I think that's where I go. Hey guys, I'm out. Hey, this is fun. Do it again next week, but not really.
Hey cops, arrest me.
I'll go to prison.
Yeah, you'll be in a French prison for a while. I mean, you're used to it.
Yeah. There's something about cults that really would turn the character of Clayton around pretty quick.
Clayton can't create in that atmosphere. Clayton needs quiet.
Right.
And so Clayton going down and hearing cults while crawling through bones and rats and bugs and just the various layers of hell, similar to Dante's Inferno, the nine circles of hell. I mean, you are you're not going to get any writing done. It's kind of a waste of time.
I will say he would appreciate the company, until like, I don't know, an hour 20 into the movie, maybe. But he enjoyed having people around him. But yeah, he definitely didn't go on that journey. He walked home.
Now, Clayton, if you made it to the end, what sin would he have to rectify for?
Oh my gosh, Mark.
That's the ideal answer to any of my questions. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, this is a fantastic question. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take a page out of most critical reviews of The Nothing and say I would rectify not making The Nothing. But that was only a joke for him because I know that as soon as you end up saying, your movie's called The Nothing, it's going to backfire on you.
Listen, man, you went out there and made something and you put yourself out there and you also, I like the theme. It's you want to get out and create. You want to find the ideal place to do it. I tried to write screenplay when I was younger, and I never got into that groove. So I could see having that obsession, that self-obsession. And so I dig it. I dug the themes of it. I got it. As someone who's tried to write and has had like really weird ideas and kind of let that drive, like I appreciate it. I didn't think it was nothing.
Thank you very much. You know, I know that usually the critics try to go for like Fast and Furious 10 ran out of gas and
I hate that, man.
Trying to play the game a little bit. No, I'm not sure what I would actually try to rectify. I'll have to come back to you on that.
All right, so we'll let you do some soul searching and so I guess getting into this movie, I'm a big fan of the Dowdles. These guys, John Eric Dowdle and his brother Drew Dowdle, they kicked off their careers with the Poughkeepsie tapes, which, you know what's interesting about that show is that I get it, or that movie, I get it, and it's done well, but it is nasty. It's nasty. Yeah. It's a mean movie.
Yes. It was definitely tough to watch, and I watched it earlier this summer, you know, in the middle of quarantine anyways, and it's like those combinations, you know, you definitely do need the shower or the walk in the sunlight afterwards. So I'll definitely attest to that.
Oh man, just some of those kills. So successful. But they moved on to Quarantine, right? Which is a remake of Wreck. And I think they did it really well. I remember going into it going, I don't know, this is a remake, yada yada. But they really did a good job. And then also Devil, I think, is a very underrated film that was sort of cursed by having M. Night Shyamalan as the producer during his sort of, what did he do? The Last Airbender, and he had just gotten off The Village. And so when people saw his name in the theater, when this trailer came on, they laughed, which hurt my soul because I really like Devil. I think it's supremely underrated. Tak Fujimoto, the guy who shot Silence of the Lambs, shot it. I love the production design. I love the choices. And also in that world, it begins upside down, and then we're jumping into As Above, So Below, which you got to go down to go up, and then the world's upside down. So they got a whole theme of upside down.
Yeah. I think this director has some love towards also descending into something, kind of going back into Quarantine, descending into something further. And between that and As Above, So Below, I think, you know, he's enamored by going into the further cave, the further cavern, and just the uncomfortability that comes with that.
Yeah, he takes him in there. Oh my gosh. And you know what's interesting about this movie? These two guys were supposed to go shoot a film. It fell through. So they got on the phone with the producer from Legendary Pictures. So his name is Thomas Tull, and he heads Legendary. And he's like, hey guys, what do you think about something in the Paris catacombs? So then they started pitching, like Alchemy. They like came up with like real life characters. They came up with a real history, but then they came up with like a female hero in the vein of Indiana Jones. And the guy just went, let's do it. And then 6 months later, they were done with the film.
Wow.
This is, okay, imagine this. You and I are hanging out, and this would be glorious if this happened, but we're talking to Jason Blum, and he's like, what do you guys think? Well, you know, we want to go make a movie about Bigfoot. We hear that there's caves in North Carolina. All right, go do it. Get it done in 6 months. We'd be screwed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That would, you know, I heard you mention Willow Creek. That would, it would not be a Willow Creek.
No, I like Willow Creek. We'd have to just shoot in our backyards and try to do a Willow Creek, but not as well, because that's a good movie by Bobcat.
Yes, it is. Very likable characters. And that was what won me over for that movie for sure.
So it's crazy though. So they started writing about alchemy. They had this idea for the hero, and then they do 6 weeks of location scouts. So location scouting. And they said they had the world's best line producer who actually let them shoot in the catacombs, which is one of the first films ever allowed to go down there and shoot. They didn't quite know what film it was going to be, but when they learned they were in the catacombs, they were like, okay, well, we got to do documentary style found footage. So you have the cameras on the headlamps and the camera itself with the light, which is important to keep with you. That's why you keep it with you, because it has a light. But I think in the time they had, and the resource, this was only a $5 million budget. So in that time, I think they succeeded in making a really good yarn. What do you think?
I think they did an amazing job. It is one of those movies that I do scratch my head over whenever I looked at the ratings, because And I had no idea they did it that quickly. That's just crazy. I don't know how they okayed them to film in these caves. Like that is a miracle in and of itself, even if they were just sitting in a chair for, an hour and a half. Like the fact that they let them do that is cool enough.
We need that line producer, Clayton. We need to hire that line producer wherever
Yes.
we go.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think they turned out just a really amazing found footage film, and I'm a big fan of those. So bring it on.
What I like the most is, I remember watching this, my wife and I watched it. We had no clue what it was going to be, but it looked like a really fun concept and we wanted to go enjoy it. I love Perdita Weeks in this movie. I think her character Scarlett is so refreshing because, I'm just going to wreck it. At the end, George, who is in a Turkish prison, then she convinces him to join him on this, and he gets bit in the neck by something we'll get into later, and he's dead. She decides, I'm going to go by myself. I'm going to steamroll some hell demons. I'm going to run by the devil who's in a chair. I'm going to climb up a well, a hole, just by myself. I'm going to go rectify all my sins. I'm going to put the Sorcerer's Stone back. I'm going to fix everything. Then I'm going to climb back down. I'm going to stiff arm more demons, and then I'm going to come back and heal your neck. And then they escape. It's a really neat, okay, that never happens, Clayton. Like, she lived, she stiff-armed demons, she saved the day, and it feels weird saying this, but it's just so refreshing watching her. Like, she has her PhD, she has, she's fluent in all this, and also what I like is, I like the Goonies style of this. I like the Sahara style. I like the National Treasure Hunt. I like the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, this movie moves so fast. And I love that about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just going back to like the first time you see her, she's filming herself and saying, if I'm found dead, please know that I entered this country of my own free will, knowing that the punishment for trespassing is burial up to your neck and, and sand and having a rock thrown on you. But they'd have to catch me first. Like, as soon as she says, but they'd have to catch me first. So it was like, I was in on this character. I was like, this is going to be a fun character to follow in general. But yeah, she's also just not in it for the financial gain. She's just literally trying to prove that her father wasn't crazy, and you get the sense of the past with, her and George. And it was, refreshing to not watch these characters that you just want to see die for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. And so I've been watching some of the videos on this. So if I ever have to take an errand, or if I'm ever working in the yard, or I have some free time, I like to listen to what other people think about this film. And there's this thing, How to Survive As Above, So Below, and the ending explained, but everyone just dogpiles on Scarlett. She's not prepared. She's dumb. She's not good. But think about Ben Gates, right? He was never prepared. You just go on a mission and it takes you. Think of Ethan Hunt. Like, you end up in a thing ill-prepared. Think of Indiana Jones. He never has grappling hooks and ropes on him. He just goes. Like, she's the exact same as all of the other male treasure hunters, Sahara, any of them. But people are like, yeah, she goes in there and does all this, and like it just seems very, I don't know, it's very contradictory, hypocritical that people just, and then also like they didn't go prepared into this. I would have gone into this cave with a line and this. They went into hell. They got into hell, and like no line is gonna take you back. Like, you're in hell. So it's just annoying to me that people kind of hate, like, they're like Indiana Jones ripoff. It's like, no, just like Indiana Jones was a ripoff of serials back in the day. Like, Spielberg and Lucas based him off of Heroes of Yonder. I just get annoyed, and I've been talking to myself like a crazy person, like I'm hunting the Philosopher's Stone, just like, and also, right?
Why is everybody so mean to her? I don't get it.
And then also, people are like, they didn't go into the cave prepared. But see, George didn't even want to go in there. So Papillon, he offers him boots, and he turns down everything. So they're like, why doesn't he have boots? Well, he turned them down because he didn't think he would be in there. And they got tackled by cops, so they didn't have all their gear. Then they lost their gear. Like, I think they really do a good job setting up everything. And also, it's really interesting. When they're in the caves, she has the clue from Turkey. They're looking for the Philosopher's Stone here. When they're in the catacombs, they meet somebody who tells them to go meet Papillon. That dude was dead. And I bet you he wanted them to bring Papillon there so he would atone for whatever he did, if that makes sense. Because that seems like the guy who got burnt with him, which you see on his burnt hand later. So
I noticed that on this viewing, that, the gloomy teenager that's Papillon's little brother that he got in the car wreck. I didn't catch that until this viewing. But yeah, it's that like, hey, he gives the info that's going to give them into the cave, and then all of a sudden he's gone. So there's something otherworldly getting set up here.
That thing wants his brother in there. And so that's why they find him, and he's not the most well prepared, this guy. He's kind of cavalier. Like, he doesn't give them the best instructions. So it's just, it all makes sense to me. And also, like, there's a ton of Dante's Inferno in here. So when they first meet that group, so when the characters enter the secret tunnel of the catacombs, they come across an altar room in red candlelight with various naked women and a manifestation of Benji's deceived, reoccurring ex-partner and mother of child. This area overseeing the gates of hell is the vestibule of hell that Virgil explained to Dante is where one hears the anguished screams of the damned and contains the souls of two classes, opportunists and outcasts. The clothed cultists are the opportunists, and the naked are the outcasts in accordance to the Divine Comedy. Mm-hmm. So in that room is that's where they're entering hell. Like, that's the vestibule of hell, which is referenced by, in Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
So isn't that crazy?
Yes. No, that's amazing. I do want to jump here and say, once again, this is when Clayton walks back, but I was thinking to myself, there should be way more, hey dude, let's whisper. There's a naked cult, like literally right in there. I just think we should not talk, and we should tiptoe for the next, I don't know, like a mile. But like the way that they were just talking and the, normalness that they felt whenever they were looking at this cult, it almost made me chuckle.
Yeah, it is quite relaxed, their view. Yeah. But this is where I think the Goonies aesthetic comes into play. If you remember in the Goonies where everyone's always talking all over each other and they're in a hurry and they're just moving, go, 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 go. Like, I think the Dowdles even said they wanted that spirit. So if you and I saw that, just a naked cult in a room singing, but here's the thing. But here's the thing, though. I mean, Scarlett, she had been to Turkey by herself. She's only been blown up. Like, not Turkey. She was in Iran, and she almost got blown up. And they've been to Turkey, and so these are people I think who have seen something and they're driven. And when you think about explorers of old, like the Lost City of Z or Shackleton and his expeditions, they went to some insane places. I mean, just death, just almost certain death sometimes. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to go deep into the Amazon jungle. So
yeah, exactly.
They probably saw some funky stuff, but you just got to keep going. I guess that's my way of rationalizing it.
Yeah, I guess so. And I'm trying to think of the closest scenario I've been. I think I heard you on the podcast. I don't remember which episode, but you were talking about places you've snuck into, abandoned places. There's a place that was over near Perimeter over in Georgia, and it was called Brook Run, and it was an abandoned mental institution. Me and some friends, were 20, and that's what you do, I guess. You sneak into things for that thrill. And the closest I got to this was opening a door of this next room we wanted to check, and then I saw a hand grab the door and then push it closed. The quickness we ran away as soon as that happened, it was nothing compared to seeing this cult, but we were sprinting as fast as we could the second we saw this hand reach and close that door.
That's why that would be a boring horror movie, Clayton. Right. Run away! Like Monty Python. Run away! Yeah,
exactly. I mean, technically How to Survive As Above, So Below is you just don't go in the cave. And then that's, I don't know, you go home and do a podcast. You live, but, it's not very fun to watch us sit here and do this. So, they win in the grand scheme of making a fun, adventurous story.
It's just kind of wild, right? Where this is a fictionalized universe, which gets set up well. They introduce them to they get Papillon to go in there. They know that they're charging head first. She's gone a little mad because her dad went mad, Scarlett. Her dad hung himself. And so they're all just, and also George, he loves Scarlett. And he loves the hunt. So even though he says he doesn't want to go, he's following her in. So is it irresponsible that they took Benji in there without training and without really any survival skills in that hole? But also, all these explorers are kind of selfish, man. Like, I mean, how many of these movies have Indiana Jones flunkies gotten killed because they're with him? Or just, you're taking people in a dangerous situation. So it's not responsible. So maybe that's a complaint. But also, I think these people are just so driven that, I don't know, they're not worried about collateral damage.
Benji's a documentary filmmaker, right?
Oh, yeah.
He chose to do this.
That's a good point. I mean, Oppenheimer chose to do the act of killing. That's insane. So, I mean, yeah, Benji's trying to make cred for himself. I guess that's a good documentary, right?
Yeah. And you know what? This is, technically do we jump to the end and say it's not found footage or we'll save that?
I guess it is documentary style, correct? Because no one finds it because they have it.
This is delivered footage. This is the first,
delivered footage film.
This is the first delivered footage film.
Oh, yeah. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Wait, but did someone grab the camera that Benji had? That's why they were able to edit together him being wiped out. Did they grab the thing on his head, too? Probably.
I feel like they would. Like, the way that you would write that off in general is, once someone's gone, you're going to grab their headlamp just in case yours runs out, right?
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. I like it. It's the first delivered footage movie.
The first delivered footage movie. So, it's doing something unique here.
Oh, and I have a question. So I remember when I was in college, so I was working on my master's and I did a documentary about the pythons in the Everglades. And so 4 of us went down to go try to find pythons in the Everglades. And we found ourselves kind of trudging through things and none of us were prepared. Like, we were grossly underprepared to go trudge through swamps to find pythons. And so when people complain about this crew not being prepared, like, who's carrying all this? Like, that stuff costs money, Clayton. Like, who's...
Right.
It's just so, like, Warzone reporters don't go report inside a steel bubble. Like, they get out there and they maybe have a lot of pockets, but I don't know, the whole thing's in, but it's just, it's very, what annoys me, right? And you and I decided to do this movie because I think people are complaining about the really easy things and they're not thinking about it. They're just complaining, but not, I don't know. That's just what I think. I just think people are looking for something easy and they're not considering the angles of this film.
Right. And once they're in hell, like, all bets are off. You're in a
exactly.
All bets are off. You're in a psychological battle against yourself. Like, I don't think this isn't How to Survive 127 hours. Well, that guy didn't. He just did. So it doesn't. You know what? I haven't said a sentence in like 8 sentences, but the point is it's otherworldly, and we just have to, like, recognize that as viewers.
That's fun. That's what I do to people when they join the show, because I'm like a pinball machine. I don't go ABC. I bounce all over the place, and then people just sort of have to keep up. And then I ask insane questions. They're like, "Give me an answer now."
Right. Yeah. No, it's great.
I mean, and like in the nothing, too much silence is not good for a podcast. So I set people up sometimes to and ah on there. But I kind of want to go through. Actually, I want to go through one thing real quick with you, and that's the way they set this up. The Dowdle set this up. So the 9 circles of hell. Mm-hmm. Now, in the first one, it's limbo, right? The first circle, and that's where they meet Latop. So he's been dead and stuck in limbo. And he can disappear, he can move around, he is dry when he goes through the water, and he's the one that they have to go down to get out. And so he hasn't really done enough evil, but he hasn't done enough good to get into heaven, so he's just stuck in limbo in that spot. And then the second one is lust. That's where you hear when the group climbs down the second floor, they end up in a corridor where the sound is muffled at first, and then it grows so loud it hurts their ears. The sound can be compared to that of a tornado or a vortex. So when Dante climbs down to the second circle, that's when they're in that area that's really loud. Remember that scene?
Yeah, yeah.
So they're like, you know all this. I'm sorry, I'm being redundant, but I just love how they set up the 9 circles. Like Gluttony, they have a widened third floor. The fourth one's Greed. That's where they tear out the treasure, and that's a trap for
Right.
that. Fifth is Wrath. So like the damage reverse enclosure of Greed, which is completely empty minus a filthy water entrance, like Hearsay. And then they go down to 7, which is Violence. That's where poor Susie gets her head smushed by Latop, like real bad, like a complete head smushing. Fraud is where he falls, like he like that's where like an amphitheater shaped area would drop in the manifestation of Benji's victim of Bologna and pandering and flattery. So then he falls, and then Treachery is the very bottom, where they get into the 9th circle of hell, where people are attacked and like the wall demons bite people, and they say that's Satan sitting in that chair because his face is nice on one side, burnt on the other. It's
Right. I don't know what else it would be other than Satan and
a guy named Rick.
Like, but I will say that, oh man, I just love the sound design as soon as they enter that room. It's so good.
So they're saying like the demon of Cain is the one that bit George, and Judas is down there, and Ptolemy. It's really interesting. People have studied the hell out of this movie.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's all there. So when people get so, when they complain so much about it, I don't think they're realizing what this draws from. I mean, maybe that's the movie's fault that people don't know it. Because there's a lot of things in this movie you can miss, Clayton. There's a lot of hints that make you have to pay attention. And if you don't, I think you miss neat little clues.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, going back to it, let's jump back to the beginning. Because I do want to bring up the wide-eyed girl. She is seen walking out of the club, but are we to think like that is just in some ways later she's going to be a representation to Benji of whatever his sin was?
I think so.
Okay.
That's the theory. That's a theory, but she goes after him. I think that could be it.
Right. Yeah, she looks directly at the camera. He follows her. Would I be able to jump into my first of the 3 things talking about the wide-eyed girl?
Yeah, please.
So these are all the thoughts I had on it. Pretty much, yeah, they lock eyes whenever they're looking for Papillon. They're at the club entrance. She walks by. He pans to the right, and then he pans back to the left to see her. I rewound it like 3 times. She should have only been like 5 feet away, but she was like 40 feet away. Whenever he panned back to the left, I was like, even if she like started running the second his camera panned to the right. So I was intrigued by that, because it seemed like they either did a cut there or they had a double, or I mean, it just didn't seem like it was possible for her to run that far away. And so I feel like she was just meant to kind of be, foreshadowing or to draw them in the first place. That's why there's all of a sudden 40 feet, between them. And then whenever they're in the club, you see her one more time. You pretty much see her. It was 21 minutes and 13 seconds in that I paused it on like the perfect pause to where you see like a demonic aura that's walking with her. Now there are 24 frames a second, so I just got really lucky on my pause, but it's there. If you go there.
What?
Yeah, if you go there, 21 minutes in, 13 seconds, some sort of a demonic aura ghostly figure is walking with her.
What?
Yeah. Check it out.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This movie's good.
And one of my notes is, so I will never pause this perfect again. You almost have to do a frame by frame, but it's there. And the fact that they put it there and it's so quick. It's It's one of the things that I love about found footage, but I'll talk about that later. There's little nuggets that you don't even see, until your third viewing. And I just think that's so cool. But yeah, I just wanted to see if you kind of had noticed that or,
No.
seen that. But yeah, check it out.
Now I love this movie more.
And then one more thing regarding, because it's just the wide-eyed girl. I told you, I was very unsettled the second that she turns her head towards the camera and the orchestra, goes into pretty much like Insidious title card mode, which that orchestral noise just always gets to me. We have that moment, and then later, Benji remarks whenever they're with Latu, the camera turns, and then the camera turns back to him, and then Benji is the one that says, "How did he get up there so fast?" So Benji was the one to notice that all of a sudden he is otherworldly, ahead, but he missed it with this girl. And I might be looking into it too much, but that's just something that I kind of noticed. All the things with the wide-eyed girl, it was that foreboding, atmospheric kind of feeling that I love in horror. And, it kind of reminded me of the VHS segment with Hannah Fireman, whenever they get.
Oh, in the room?
Yeah. It kind of reminded me, those big, like, those big piercing eyes, and it was just really cool.
That's neat. I love the cult segment in VHS 2. Oh my gosh, with Gareth Evans and I think someone else. I forget the name of the other director. The guy who did The Night Comes for Us, I believe, which is a beautiful film. Yeah, I love that segment in VHS 2 with the cult. Woo!
I'm gonna revisit. It's been way too long, and I have this thing about oh my gosh, the anthologies.
Anthologies.
Yeah, I have this thing about anthologies where like I don't retain a lot of it just because it's not a whole story. So I have to revisit them way more often than I'd like to say out loud. But that's my big rectify is watching more anthologies and not forgetting everything. So I want to go back now. Thank you for that.
I just watched the Mortuary collection. That's on Shudder.
That was really good.
Yeah. I love that the one guy directed it, so it feels more like a thorough narrative because it has one voice. It's not really discordant throughout. But I still see there's a lot to remember in that. But, okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
We watch a lot of movies. We work on a lot of stuff. We have information processing bias at all times. What are some movies that you just that have just been burnt into your memory? Can you think of any that you watched once or twice, but you could just almost tell somebody word for word, obviously you can't, but as close as possible to what that movie's about? Have you ever watched something once or twice and just have it burnt in your memory?
Yes, I have. I think Climax was burned into my memory.
Oh, what a perfect movie.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, actually. It was like, I don't think that I will forget that movie in 50 years. No. I think that there will still be parts, in my brain that are going to remember a lot of unsettling things in that movie.
You know what Nothing 2 should be about?
What?
You trying to recreate everyone's dance in the beginning, just Clayton, and then you edit it together. So it's you being driven mad by trying to recreate, like you're each dancer, and then you want to edit it all together via trickery and plates. And you want to recreate it all with just you.
I would not want to put any viewer through that. So, it's a great idea, but no, I care too much about everyone. But yeah, good idea.
You are absolutely right. I really have. That's a perfect movie that you picked. It's in my brain. It is never leaving me. It's not going anywhere. Another one for me is The Blackcoat's Daughter, which I completely absorbed while watching because it just sort of connected with me with all the loneliness aspects of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I listened to your best horror of 2017, and I almost jumped up the second you said Blackcoat's Daughter was your favorite movie. I love it so much. I think Oz Perkins is probably the best setter of atmosphere that is in the game. just foreboding feeling. And that's what I love in my horror. And he definitely is so good at that.
It never feels precious. And I have a Black Coat's Daughter episode coming out. Zanandi and I recorded it. And watching it again and researching, you know how some horror movies play very precious, where it feels manufactured? And
Right.
Nothing from Oz feels precious. You never just look at it and go, oh, it feels so organic. I love it. And just the fact that a child doesn't want a demon to leave her and she says, stay, is heartbreaking. But yeah, just watching that scene where the low-key exorcism. Ugh. And then when Emma Roberts laughs when she realizes that James Remar is the parent, I mean, it's just such a mean, fun, cool movie. It makes me so happy. Such a good film.
Her in the furnace the first time that you see her going, up and down, hands. I mean, the shivers, dude.
I was trying to prep for that movie, and I had probably watched it 5 times. And then I was trying to watch it at night to take notes. And then when that scene came on, I'm like, nah, I'll just watch it during the day. I'll deal with it later. I don't want to. I can't do this right now. So.
Yeah, it's just such a secluded feeling movie. Just the snow and I don't know where do they film that?
Up in Canada.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just the whole setting it was just perfect.
I love it. Hey, so how about this? Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will talk more As Above, So Below. We will be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And Clayton, I have a surprise for you.
What's the surprise?
We are going to do, for Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook, the page, we're going to do a treasure hunt movie draft. So, I'm dropping this right on you, but I'll give you first pick, and we just pick movies where treasure is hunted for. And so it can be any movie just about treasure hunting. Someone's looking for treasure, and since we're doing As Above, So Below, they're looking for treasure, I figured this would be fun. So we'll do a treasure hunt movie draft, and you can vote on this the day after this episode is released on Movies, Films, and Flicks. And if you listen to this 5 months afterwards, just go to Movies, Films, and Flicks on Facebook anyway, and look at just vote on whatever we have. Check out everything. We got good content. So yeah, you get first pick.
All right. Well then, I'll just go ahead and snatch up the Goonies.
It's so good. It's perfect. I'm gonna take National Treasure. I don't care. I will never not take National Treasure first.
There you go. Okay. Then Tomb Raider and the Cradle of Life.
Ooh. Is that the second one? Or the first one? Is that the one where she punches the shark?
Yeah, that would be that.
Oh, I love that movie. All right, since you went cheeky, I'm going to take Anacondas 2, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid.
Oh, that's good. That is a good find. Oh, my gosh. A pirate movie. Pirates of the Caribbean.
All right, Pirates of the Caribbean. Ooh, that's a good one. Black Pearl.
Yeah, Black Pearl, of course.
Black Pearl. So then let's see. Now I gotta pick a treasure hunt movie. Oh man, there's so many good ones. But I also like picking really weird ones. Let's see. Well, you know what? Let's go for a good yarn that maybe I think more people should watch. Let's do Romancing the Stone. I think that's a fun movie. I dig it.
Romancing the Stone. Okay, yeah. I haven't checked that one out yet.
It's a good picture. Zemeckis, Douglas. It's good.
Okay. All right. Is it bad that I'm just not up on my treasure hunting movies?
I feel like that dropped this on you too. I didn't give you a chance.
Yeah, I'm bombing here. I'm out.
Look on. Do you have to type something in? There's Sahara. There's the Good, the Bad, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. There's other National Treasure movies. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? There's The Hobbit, The Treasure of Monte Cristo. The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
All right, I got another rando one for you.
Ooh.
Black Sea.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that movie. I'm gonna take Three Kings.
Oh, that is a good one.
You got one left.
One left?
Yep, one left.
Wasn't The Rundown?
Yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful pick.
Oh yeah.
Oh love man, it. That's evil. I think you just won this.
That was just a fun movie.
You know what? Since this is a hunt, I'm just gonna do something from this year and do the Five Bloods. I'll pick
nice.
that.
All right.
So you have Goonies, Tomb Raider and the Cradle of Life, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Black Pearl, Black Sea, and The Rundown. I have National Treasure, Anacondas 2, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid, Romancing the Stone, Three Kings, and The Five Bloods. That's an eclectic pick, and I'm so happy you didn't grab a Raiders or an Indiana Jones. I like it.
Yeah, I went Goonies, which was a little, cheap off the top, but I tried my best after that.
But you know what though? That's not an ultimate ringer, the Goonies. Yes, it's well known, but you didn't just go Indiana Jones or Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right. Yeah.
I would have been. You went with your heart, and I appreciate that. You didn't go to win. You went with your heart, and then you picked Tomb Raider. That's an MFF style right there. I'd put together teams that always lose, but I'd rather lose with teams I love than pick a team trying to win that I don't really care about and lose, if that makes sense.
Right.
Oh, so back to As Above, So Below. What do you think?
Yeah. So that that was the first thing that I loved. Do you want to keep going through the film or go back to the three big things?
Yeah, I want to hear about the three things that you loved in this movie. Tell me what the moments in this film that you just loved.
Something I just absolutely loved is the sound design. The second that we see the black cloak in the chair, and then all of a sudden George's hand hits the wall, and it's like his hand has awoken the wall.
Oh.
And, through the sound design, it's just elevated at that moment, and you've got all the unsettling sounds. I'm sure you've got infrasound going crazy. That really just it was actually. We tested the nothing whenever we were doing a sound check, with the sound designer at the end of the film. We checked it against As Above, So Below.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was because of these moments, and we would check it against scenes. The movies are nothing alike, but I just loved the amount of sound and all the little things. Pertaining to the sound design in that film. So, yeah.
Beautiful sound design.
And so the third thing is just talking about found footage. Something I love is I like to look at horror movies, and this is for me, and I actually wish I wasn't this way, but I look at horror films like a director holding an egg, but also taking us on a journey. And the problem is so many times we try to get taken too far and the egg gets broken. For me, I get taken out of a horror film if I see too much CGI. But like if you compare that to if I was watching a comedy, it's like, well, that joke didn't land, but it didn't take away all the other funny jokes that I've heard previous. You know, it's something that you're building towards. If found footage, I feel like a lot of the times we're not overshowing the thing we're scared of. And for me, that just really works. Like, I didn't notice that whenever she turns, her hanging father, and then she realizes it's her, like she's going mad. And she freaks out and starts running, and there are teeth on the ground biting her feet. And I didn't notice that for like the first 2 watches. And then all of a sudden I pick that up and I'm thinking, okay, this is like pure psychological terror. You number 1, you're like, oh, there's my dead dad. This sucks. Number 2, it's like, oh my gosh, it's actually me and I'm crazy. Number 3, the ground is biting your feet. Like, I have to run and I don't even know where I'm running. I feel like in so many horror films that are non-found footage, there's this like obligation to show the thing we're scared of too much on screen. And I don't know, the fact that we see less in this film, and there are moments where I'm like, oh, like don't break the egg, and like it just never gets there for As Above, So Below to me. And that's just something I absolutely love about this movie and a lot of found footage. Not all, but a lot of found footage. So, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I mean, I noticed the feet today. That's the first time I ever noticed it. Chomping it. It just, and also the devil sitting in the chair just doesn't really seem interested in them. It's like it's layered. I dig it. Oh, you want to know my 3 things before I just start mumbling?
I would love to. Yeah.
So I like when we first meet George. he's fixing a clock. So he snuck into a place he shouldn't be there. He's all greased up, but I think it shows that he's doing something sort of cavalier by sneaking in there. They don't know he's there, but he's also fixing a clock that hasn't been working in many, 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 many years. It's kind of rock star, but it's also nerdy. And I think it sets up our character pretty well. This is a guy who, he's cool with breaking into things, but he does so to fix a clock. It's quite neat. I love that aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like he just wants to fix things. Like that kind of goes back to my character thought of, why are characters not likable in horror films? And it's usually just something that, they have to be hateable for, you to want to watch it. And I don't really get that. And you see this guy like doing a noble thing, like fixing a clock instead of just, I don't know, being at a sleazy strip club and then all of a sudden he runs, it's like he's doing a noble thing. So yeah, I love that.
You just immediately like this guy's fixed a clock. Not a clock, a bell, my apologies. But I guess it's attached to a clock. So, you're right. He's not doing anything grimy. Like, in these movies when you put together a team, there's always someone grimy.
Right.
He's not that. I dig it. All right. So then my second one, I've touched on it briefly, but she stiff arms a demon. Scarlet stiff. And so this demon had just munched on George's neck. Crazy. And she just stiff arms it. It's beautiful. And I remember watching it for the first time, and it was so refreshing. It was just, Scarlet just wiped out that demon, and she kept running. It's just a neat, and then she climbs all the way up the rope, which people have insulted, but, in Hobbs and Shaw, people can grab onto a helicopter and a plane, and their arms don't rip off. But yeah, she climbs up a rope, and people complain. But
why would people complain?
Well, because the one video, he's like, then she climbs up a rope with nothing. Like, she couldn't do that. Someone said it. And this is a video with like 2 million views.
Don't people do that in 7th grade in PE?
Yeah, exactly. It just annoys me. But what I like most about this movie is I just never for a second thought that Scarlet would just go full beast mode to save George, go climb up a thing, reverse it, deal with everything, rectify everything, fix everything, then get out of there. It was just cool, man. It just felt very, I know a lot of people died in the movie. I know that it was quite, it's quite bloody and whatever, but it was so refreshing to me. I don't know. I really like that. And and then they live. Like Zed, George, and her live. It's quite nice. I don't know. You just don't see that much, and I dig it. That's what makes me happy. And then also, you already touched on it, but in the beginning, I love when she goes, "They'll have to catch me." Like, I dig that line. Like, I'm taking responsibility, but you got to catch me first. And that comes into play later when she stiff arms people.
Right. Absolutely.
And it's just, I don't know. I dig it. I think it's mischievous. And I mean, you kind of have to be crazy, slightly, not crazy. I hate that word. It gets thrown. You have to be slightly, I don't know the right word, to hunt down the Philosopher's Stone. Like, that's your life. So Clayton, I meet you 30 years from now, and you're just tired, and you have a huge beard, and you're just mumbling about the Philosopher's Stone. I'm like, man, I think Clayton's lost it. Like, it's, I don't know. I like it. I like that too, where, sometimes when a National Treasure or other movies, like, oh, my dad did it and it wrecked his life, so I'm not doing it.
Right.
She's like, my dad was right, and I'm going to fulfill this for him. Right. There's very little there's no unnecessary drama. And I know she left George in Turkey, which seems like something she would do. But you can tell the whole time that George is into it. He just is.
Right. It was the best week of his life.
Yeah. And like, yeah, exactly. But George also has to be annoyed. So, like, if you get left in Turkey by a intrepid explorer and you see them again, you're not going to want to answer their calls for a while, even if you're super into them. You got to make them work for it a little bit.
Yes, exactly. Come on, just a little bit.
Yeah. You can't immediately. Yeah. Oh, okay, we're cool. It's fine. My bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It just goes going back to her character motivation, where it's just like she respected her father and she wanted to prove he wasn't crazy, and that's all the motivation you need for seeing her go through all this. So
wow.
I don't think there should be any complaining.
Yeah, there's no dad issues like in Indiana Jones. There's no mom issues. It's just,
Right.
And she doesn't really care if people believe her or not.
Right.
It's and I also like the counterbalance too of her when they first meet Papillon when she's like, I'll take half the treasure. She's like, you can have it all. And George goes, half is fine.
Half is fine.
Yeah.
I laughed pretty hard at that.
They're a good double act, but I think it shows she's very impulsive, very reactive.
Yes.
And I mean, that's why they didn't spend months crafting an Ocean's 11 plan, because that would have been unnecessary anyway, because they're going into hell.
Right. Right. It wouldn't have done anything.
Now, random question for you. Why?
Yep.
Okay, that crew had been in those caves before.
Mm-hmm.
Why now are they in this 9 circles of hell? Sorry, that's a pretty...
I don't... You have to either look at it as they're... the cult is trying to open the gates, right?
Yeah.
So that's a possibility. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe? The cult ladies are opening the gates to hell for these people. It's already been set in motion with the lady walking out of the club. So it's already been set in motion. There's something cosmic about it in general. The devil knows that Scarlet is gonna seek out Papillon, so he's already laid out the game plan. So there's a possibility that that's what it is.
That's pretty great. They're singing. They opened it up. They obviously knew it from the wide-eyed woman.
Right.
So they are setting this up. Maybe because they know she's getting close. She found the clue in Iran.
Yeah. I mean, that would make sense to me. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And you're kind of thinking about people getting put in danger. I don't think Scarlett ever once thought, hey, I'm going to take these nice French tour guides into hell.
Right. No.
Yeah.
No, she didn't. We're very pro Scarlett on this podcast, aren't we, Mark?
Well, dude,
I feel like it's safe to say.
I like it. I like how she keeps moving forward. I dig that. It's when she goes to Iran, the guy's like, we gotta go. We gotta go. She's like, yo, come on. I got this. It's fine. And I also, I don't know. And also, a lot of people complain about Benji, but I mean, I'd be pretty annoyed too. His tempers are flaring. He seems to be a hot-headed guy. Right. Papillon is joking with him. So, I mean, I have no issues with him either. And I know he's woefully prepared for this, but no one expected, right, Clayton, that they're going to be going down tunnels into hell. They're not going to be rappelling. Right.
It was never on the radar. I like Zed. I wish I saw Zed a little bit more throughout the movie, and he survives too. But he's got that funny little De Niro impression. I like that guy too.
And no one can say Zed's dead.
Yeah, no one can say Zed is dead. Oh wow,
that's a deep Tarantino reference.
Yes,
but no, I like him. Yeah, he's very likable. I like in the beginning when they ask him about his hand, he's like, yeah, we don't really talk about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I dig Zed. Zed seems pretty chill. He seems happy to kind of roll with things. I like him.
He's probably the goofy funny guy. Mm-hmm. We got Susie who's very serious, but
the Banshee.
All about Banshee. We got a Pappy is he's tagging all the walls. So yes, he is a arrogant cave diver, but that's it. Like nobody's malicious. None of our main group of heroes are malicious.
Nope. And this is how I know I like a horror movie. It's when I can remember the characters' names.
Yeah.
And Scarlet, George, Papillon, Zed, the Banshee, or I don't know, when there's so many movies I watch where I can't tell you any of the characters' names, or TV shows for that matter. But I think the good ones. I feel the ones you connect with are the ones you can remember people's names on.
Absolutely.
It's an interesting concept, and it's not based on anybody too. It's not like we're watching Barry Lyndon to make it easy.
Right.
That's a good movie, by the way.
Barry Lyndon?
Yeah.
All right, so I got Romancing the Stone and Barry Lyndon.
Oh, it's Kubrick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's funny. I love it. It's an epic, just costume drama, but there's some wicked humor in there.
You know what, dude? I always thought I was a cinephile. Maybe I just like movies a lot. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm like I'm a cinephile when I go home Christmas break, hang out with the family. I'm looking forward to these recommendations, Mark.
Well, you spend 17 hours a day on film sets, so it's kind of fine for you, man. I mean, you're not going to watch so many. I do this as a job.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was on those sets, I did not want to go home and watch Barry Lyndon after a long day on set.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've been doing this nonstop since what, 2010?
Yeah, 2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're still conscious.
I'm still kind of there. Yeah.
The first time I think, I don't know if we talked, but I remember you were on Walking Dead season 2. That's the first time I ever saw you on a really weird day I had there. So
I'm curious as to what the really weird day was, but yeah, that was when I started first show.
So I was supposed to be, I was PA into, but I got a job as a stand-in on a movie called Jane Mansfield's Car for Ray Stevenson, and I loved it because I got to be around, and then they eventually turned me into a PA on there, and I had a good time on that set for maybe the 30 days it was shooting, 25 days. And so I was really new in the industry. I didn't know anybody. I moved up here. I didn't know anybody, so I just took anything I could. And I was supposed to have a stand-in day on Jane Mansfield's Car, but they messed up, so they felt bad. So like, okay, go stand in on Walking Dead. So I had to drive.
You stood in for Herschel, right?
Yeah, Scott Wilson. And everybody on set is like, what is happening? Like, it was a super serious scene. Like, the kid's injured and everything. And then there's me standing in for Scott Wilson. And I remember just looking at everybody and like, I didn't do this. And then there was a kneeling scene. So I'm like, I can do this. And we all had a laugh. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Man.
And I ended up working with him on Comic-Cons for many years, Scott Wilson. Like, that whole crew. I was doing Comic-Cons before Walking Dead. I used to manage the floor of these shows. And Norman Reedus was the Boondock Saints guy. But over the course of about 6 months, he went from having a decent crowd every weekend to just having a massive, massive photo op crowd, putting 2,000 people in seats for panels. Walking Dead just exploded. But it was kind of cool to be on the ground floor watching it get huge. But I just remember just laughing about it. Just like, what are we thinking? I had to stand in for John Hurt one time on Jay Mansfield's Car. And I had to scrouch down to about, I'm like 6'4", so probably you too. So I had to like open my legs as far as possible to shrink down to 5'9".
You're tripping crew and grip.
8 grips.
There's no winning.
Yeah.
Like, you can make yourself taller with an apple box. You can only make yourself so short before you become a tripping hazard.
I will say though, my time as a stand-in made it a lot easier to work with stand-ins later on because stand-ins are treated horribly. I mean, second team. And so I remember on a couple of films, I just learned I trained the stand-ins, like, guys, when you hear second team, be there. Like, just don't make them yell twice because then they get furious. So I think that was a good experience for me, just learning. And also I learned not to squat, because your legs burn out. It's to open up your legs to shrink yourself down a little bit. That's what I learned. But yeah, that was my stand-in for you. They had no stand-ins in this movie, though, because they just had like a tiny crew going in there. And I guess Ben, the guy, George, he was claustrophobic. So imagine that.
Oh, wow. That's talk about conquering something. That's awesome.
The only reason I'd want to be an actor, Clayton, if I'd want to be like in a boxing movie, and then I'd want to be in a cycling movie, and then I'd want to be in a sword fighting movie, in an equestrian film. That way I can just pick up all the skills for later on in life. So maybe he took that role to cure his, Ben Feldman took the role to cure his claustrophobia.
Very true. I thought that you were just like, hey, this will keep me in shape.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. Oh, I have no phobias of those. I would just do it to stay in shape, like Chris Hemsworth. Oh, you want me to be in a Hulk Hogan film? Yeah, great. Give me some weights.
Somebody cast me to be Wolverine, and maybe I'll actually go on a diet, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do roles that kept me in shape. But yeah, I don't know if that works. Just let me be in a movie to cure my claustrophobia. I don't think it works like that.
No, I don't think it does, dude. I'd be the fattest Wolverine. It'd be depressing.
You could have the chops though, the mutton chops. I could see you growing those.
I could do that. Yeah. That's about it.
Is there anything else we haven't covered on this film? I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about? Did you have any other notes?
Not specifically. I feel like we've covered what we really do love about the movie. Yeah.
Since you are a horror director, and you love the genre, do you have maybe a couple recommendations for the listeners? Something funky, something you've been loving, something you've been watching?
So yeah, I will give a shout out to just a few found footage, probably found footage movies.
Wait, what did we call this one?
Delivered footage. So yes, in the vein of filming, but not actually, being a found footage, I will talk about. Have you seen Borderlands, which is like The Final Prayer, is the English title?
No.
Okay. I would recommend that to check out. It is one of my favorite found footage movies. So that's going to be my one big recommendation. I haven't been watching too many new things. Oh, I just watched Synchronic.
Yeah, I bought it. I love those guys.
I bought it too. I'm so excited to listen to that commentary.
So I bought it digitally because I wanted it, because I knew the Blu-ray wasn't coming out soon. Now I got to go get the Blu-ray for the commentary. Yeah.
So something about, okay, you mentioned you just wanted to give the film The Endless a hug, in one of your and I was like, I couldn't agree more. I just love how much Benson and Moorhead are just making creative new projects,
Mm-hmm.
And Synchronic was another one that I just checked out. And I will tell you, I've actually written a sequel to The Nothing, and it was based off of an interview that I heard with Benson and Moorhead, because it got my mind thinking about resolution to Endless and the possibilities there. And so I feel like I just owe those guys so much. I can't do anything about that, but I just love their dialogue. I feel like they value friendship, and that seeps into the writing.
And at the end, they break the cycle of the pattern of their relationship with the control and driving. Yes. And oh man,
yes,
it's so good.
And whether they're going through something like really tough in resolution, like you still know that there is love there. And just with the brothers and the Endless, like Spring is just so amazing just to watch, like a drama horror romance. So it's there, but I think they just value friendship, and it shows up in their writing. So I want to plug Synchronic and Borderlands.
Awesome.
And, yeah, that's it.
They were some of the first directors that really were cool to MFF. So we were big fans of Spring, so I would include the best like non-human characters of the year, and they would share that. And we did the podcast about it, and so they would share the review of Spring. So it was pretty cool. Like they weren't that big yet, and it was kind of neat writing at the time and then having them be fans of our stuff. So I love those guys. I'll buy their Blu-rays and listen to their commentaries and watch Moon Knight and share whatever they do. So they're going to be directing Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Are they writing what they're working on?
They said directing. So okay. I didn't hear anything about writing. But okay. I got to tell you, I think this is my favorite Mackie performance that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I loved him in that movie. And it was nice to see him away from Marvel. I haven't watched Falcon yet, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it was nice seeing him just in that film. I dug it. It's just, this is going to sound bad, but like endless creativity springs forth from these two. And I love the resolution of all their films.
Oh, wow. Wow. That was really something.
That works, was really doesn't it?
Yeah. You used it endless in Spring. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to tweet that.
Yeah. Yeah, you should.
I dug it. And, but thank you so much for joining me, man. And it was a pleasure to have you on. The Nothing is on Amazon Prime. People can watch that there. I'm excited to hear what you're doing next. And, thanks for talking about As Above, So Below with me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Mark.
All right. So this is Mark Hoffmeyer. And for Clayton Thompson, who's going to be in this Turkish prison for who knows how long, but I'm really amazed that you were able to join me. So thank you. So this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.